The ultimate pair of jeans is something that once you put it on, you feel great and you feel comfortable. Anything that you put on should inspire you to do something better. So if you're walking the walk, be inspired for what you wear and you feel good about it. That's my ultimate pair of jeans. I always get that question asked, why nobody? So we didn't want to put a face behind the brand, and it's not about us, it's nobody but you. It's about how we inspire you. We're designing a product for you. It's your personality, so that's the meaning behind it. It's a family business. We've been in the business for 30 years. Father probably started around 86, 87. During the initial stages, we were helping him out when he was a service provider for others. So we thought, okay, 92, what are we going to do? We're going to stay in engineering. We loved denim for a long time. The laundry came up, and it was at the point in time when we said, oh, we'll come and join you, Dad. And he thought, are you really sure? The opportunities were there. We wanted to learn. I guess we were passionate. Being a family business, we all have our opinions. You can imagine everyone's got their own little what works for them and what doesn't, and no one wants to listen to one another, and Father knows best. So it was initially interesting, but the beauty of it, we've got a strong bond. And I guess this is why we kept building it. Whether we listen to each other or not, we're still here and we're still working together.
Okay, you go up to 19. It's okay. Okay. Yep, just leave it like this, 1900. Should be fine now.
So this is our manufacturing place. So we've only been here for about 7 years. Before this, we're actually behind our laundry. It used to be an old furniture place. It wasn't what it looks like now. Done a lot of expansion, a lot of, I guess, improvement in this place. So what I try to do is keep everything close together. If we're talking about product, then it's great to have the design team with us. So anything related to product, get the people together to actually solve all the problems. Having everyone together is probably the most important thing. So here we are in the design room. It's great to have everything outside of your doorstep rather than waiting for products to come from overseas. We reduce the amount of time, logistics, freight. If you think about the amount of waste that could potentially occur going backwards and forwards with sampling overseas, a lot of that's eliminated, having just most of our stuff done out here. So really, really useful having the team together.
Essentially what happens is prior to concept, we sit down with the fabric mills and we select the fabrics based on criteria of what we are looking for. Once we've done that, we create what we call wash panels, and we use those for shrinkage and shading to see what we can achieve out of that fabric. Then we start to make samples, and we use those panels to match and develop the washes and create formulas. From that, we allocate them to styles in the range and then make salesman samples for the sales agents to then go and sell.
To actually sew a pair of jeans, if you took process time, is around 20 minutes. But it doesn't work quite like that if you just put all the time together. So from start to finish, it potentially could take 2.5 days to get back to the design room. When a production marker is ready, it comes from the design room, which you were in before. It's actually transferred digitally over to the screen over here. There's a little mini computer just on the machine itself. We program it in, we lay it up, and then it automatically starts. Before, in order to cut manually, you had to leave a gap between panels. Now we don't, because it's so accurate and it gives you an amazing result, which makes it easier for the operators at the end of the day, because if everything goes together beautifully, it makes their life a lot easier, and that's really the purpose. So the intent here is not only just waste, but it's also improved quality. I think the machine can approximately do up to 1,000 to 1,500 units a day in its full capacity. Whereas before we could only probably get up to about 400 or 500 a day manually with extra labour. So by implementing the automatic cutting machine, we've been able to reduce the amount of waste going into landfill for approximately 1,290 kilos, thereabouts, which is it's a big saving, and it's something that we feel really, really proud that we've actually been able to achieve. So through my process, I was working out what's the best way to assemble the garments, and we've tried different formats of manufacturing and different layouts. We came to a conclusion to actually start all the fronts from one side, from my left-hand side, and start all the backs from the right-hand side. So once the backs and the fronts come together, this is where it all starts, almost completing a jean. So we've got the separating table, or actually it's a joining table, where we get the appropriate size fronts and the appropriate size backs in A's, B's and C's, and put them all together. So as we've just been joining all the jeans together, it gets to the final stage of the process where we actually put the buttonholes of the actual jeans, the belt loops. We'll turn the jeans ready for the laundry. So this is the final stage of the process, ready to go to the laundry. Hello, I'm John from Nobody Denim. How are you?
Jackson.
Peter, how you going? I don't think we've got a spare one, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, because it comes in different sizes, and we think that's the one because it's marked with an A on it.
My day is all about problem solving. What's next? And it's exactly that. So that's why I use the word continuous improvement. When we see something, how quick can we jump on it to make it work? Otherwise, there's no point because everyone gets frustrated. And we don't want frustrated people. So that's why when there's an issue, let's jump on it, let's address it, let's move on with it. Nice little old lady here, I was not sure which way she's going. That's fine. The laundry's been here since '92. When we first started, we were a service provider. So I would work with Lee, Levi's, other local denim brands, because manufacturing was massive in Australia. We were turning over around, back in the early 90s, about 20,000 jeans a week. Just out of this little laundry here, which was, it was a buzz. We had about 40 people working out of here back then, pressing, finishing, warehousing. We were servicing a lot of the Targets, the Kmarts. We were doing it all. And I guess with the tariffs being reduced in the late 90s, everyone went offshore. We had to work out what we're doing and what we love, and we love denim. Fitzroy's quite a creative hub. It's an amazing place. Creativity has been, I guess, the DNA of this area. People come through and they get excited. When you have an idea of what you want to do, and you go, right, I want an old pair of jeans that I can actually destroy and make them be mine, my personality. So you can actually grab them, give them a light colour, and then you can actually destruct them. So I think that's what we love doing, trying to make things authentic, trying to take product that people want to wear and get them to suit it to what their personality is. Once it hits the laundry, it goes through the brushing area where you do the whiskers, goes through the washing. After the washing, it's dried, and then it actually goes into the dremeling, or the destructive side, where a person uses a little tool to deconstruct a pair of jeans. Once that's done, it goes through another person who presses it. When it gets back to the factory here, it gets inspected, and it's probably around 60 people to 70 people that it passes through. There is no sense of automation in this day and age at this point in time, and probably won't be for the next 5 to 10 years. So I think in our current process, it needs to go through all the processes one by one through each operator. And then it actually, once it finishes the Fitzroy, it comes back to Thornbury, goes through the finishing lines, packed, ready for the warehouse and dispatch. Approximately around 120,000 garments leave these premises every year. 97%, 98% is produced in this factory. So that's why it's really important that we maintain this infrastructure here in Australia and keep growing it, because we see great opportunities. So we work with a place called Social Studio. When I started manufacturing, didn't have enough employees, so I wanted to find skills. So we went for a non-for-profit social studio where they were training people and upskilling refugees, asylum seekers, in bringing in people to the workforce. And we employed back then 5. We had 8 people to start with, employed another 5. Some of them are team leaders today. So it was a good thing, and that's what Nobody Denim's really, really proud of. The future of this industry is really important, and we see that collaboration is the next phase. And I don't mean collaboration through design, I mean collaboration through people, through institutions, through government, through all sectors. As a collective, we can continue to improve our industry, and I think it's extremely important, not only as people, but for the environment and what we can do. We can only learn from one another, and we can only help one another.
I think we've already started trying to go on this sustainability journey where we're starting to be very conscious about our selections of fabrics and, you know, what we choose and where we choose it and how we treat the fabrics. But we've always had that in our DNA anyway, just by working locally and manufacturing locally. But we are now just trying to expand on that and do everything we can to try and keep our carbon footprint small.
So approximately 2 years ago, we were contacted by Fibre Trace, or Good Earth Cotton. They're an Australian organisation, Australian family again, who grow cotton out of northern New South Wales. So Fibre Trace is around the traceability product that they put in the cotton stage, that we're able to trace it from the farm right through up to when it's dispatched. So it has a full traceability end to end. When we started Fibre Trace, we were actually the pilot project globally. 2 Australian companies who had great synergies, great values, great purpose, bringing something globally, which is amazing. Good Earth Cotton is the first carbon positive farm in the world. So they're actually taking the lead and changing the cotton industry. We are a high-cost country, and it's a challenge, but how do we deliver and how do we maintain and sustain our industry, and giving the opportunity for the next generation of designers or people who want to be sewers to have the opportunity to come in somewhere and learn. It's a craft. It's not going away. It's a form of creativity, and it's about how people can present their personality through a product. I think it's important from an education point of view. We believe that it can happen to maintain this industry in Australia. So that's I guess a big passion of mine, of why I still do this and I still continue to do this, because I believe the industry is an exciting industry and I still want to keep it here.
You still wearing jeans every day?
Every day.